Welcome to the forest here close to my house. I am out here. It's early morning where I am. It's in Vancouver, British Columbia, in the suburbs. And I just walked up here. It's quite a steep hike down up the road, up the hill to get here. Doesn't take long, but it can get you out of breath if you're not in shape. So I wanted to come up here and just talk about how to reignite your motivation when it's lacking, when you want to be working out and being fit. And one of the things that I'm doing for myself is doing this video because I've been lacking motivation. So this is a reminder and a motivator for me. And I wanted to talk and see if anybody joins me here to see, what you do to motivate yourself when you lose the incentive to keep working out. Some people don't have that problem at all. I thought it would be nice to come out here and have a walk. So why don't we do that? We can walk and talk, and I can show you this beautiful forest. It runs into a research forest, but on one perimeter of it, there is housing where I live, and sadly, they have cut away a lot of the trails that were here. There used to be a lot of horse trails around here, and we would see horseback riders going up our street once in a while to get to these trails. But that's, I guess, what happens with progress. They get rid of the trails, and we end up with more houses. But it's still very pretty, and I do have to be careful because bears do live out here. So that is something to be a little bit wary about. But let's walk a little bit, and I'll show you around. And I thought I've got you perched on this little stump here. I don't know if you can see it, no. But I'm going to turn you around so you can have a little bit of a view of what I am seeing, and we'll have a little chat. This is the trail. They do look after them a bit, and somebody's put this nice little bench there. I think that's horse poop. I'm not sure, or bear poop. Oh, okay, now I get nervous right away. I never used to be. So what happened to me a couple years back, I was in the garage, sitting in there. My husband had just left, so the garage door was open. I was sitting in the corner of the garage closest to my house, away from the entrance, and fiddling around on my phone because I'd just been taking pictures of my garden. And I was in the very corner, intensely looking at my phone. And all of a sudden, a big bear started walking into the garage. And it's amazing because it all happened within seconds. But in that split second, all I knew is that bear is huge. It's come into the garage, and I can't get to the door at the other side of the garage very fast. And as I was thinking all this stuff, I screamed, jumped off the big stool. The bear was so startled because he hadn't seen me in the corner, and it kind of jumped and lurched up like a cat would, like spring, because I startled him. And then he slowly turned around and walked out. And then, because this was spring, I ran upstairs screaming because my heart was pounding, got on the balcony, and there along the side of my house. So the mother bear had come along the side of my house, walked into the garage, and right behind it was a little cub. And it went through beside our house, down our drive, and followed its mom. And I thought, oh my God, that would have been something to have a mom bear and a baby in the garage with me. So ever since that happened, and I saw the size of the bear close up, I've been worried when I come out to the forest. But you just have to be careful And I'm hoping that they're pretty well fed right now, so they're not going to be interested in me. Oh, you can't tell, but this is a bit of an incline in certain spots also. So anyway, let's turn this around so I can see you. Hi, Kelsey. It's okay. Hi. Oh, my kids. Hello. Hi there. That was the moment that I really realized that I'm terrified of bears. And it's not something to be taken lightly. So I am one of these people that work out and do it for months and start to see progress. And then all of a sudden, I stop. It could be something minor, like I maybe have a cold. It could be we go away somewhere. Anything can set me off, and I fall off the rails, and I end up not working out again. Right now, it's been several months, and it makes me feel bad because I know how good I feel when I work out. So I did a little poll, and a couple of you answered and said, one of the issues that you have is how to stay motivated. And that's my thing too, because once you start doing it, you feel so good. And once you start to see a little bit of progress, it makes you feel even better. So what is it that makes me and some people just totally lose interest and not do it anymore? I don't know the psychology behind it. I don't think it's laziness. A lot of people think it's laziness, but I don't believe that's the case. I'm going to turn you around again so you can see the pretty little bridges they make. When the water melts, these are obviously going over little creeks that can be quite, there can be quite a bit of water in these areas. So obviously these have been put here because these are runoffs for water. And I think they're fairly new. So I don't think it's laziness that does that. I mean, I have family members, like my husband and my son, who work out religiously. And, you know, once in a while they'll take a few weeks off if they have an injury, they've been sick, but they just get right back at it. And it shows because they are physically quite fit. So what can we do? Oh, what is this? A memorial. Oh, that's nice, Karen. I haven't been in this direction in this forest for a while. I usually go the other way, but this is nice. What is it? What's the psychology behind those people that can continue to work out or get right back on the wagon as soon as if they've recovered from whatever it is? I don't know. But what are the things that you do to motivate yourself to work out? I'm curious. Hi, little munchkins. For me, what I was noticing is my phone. You know how it gives you, I have an iPhone, and once in a while it gives you these memories. And mine showed me a memory of me several years ago with my sister doing the grouse grind. That's a steep incline up the Grouse Mountain here in Vancouver. And when I saw the picture of me all toned and my sister all toned, that was a motivator. So instead of, and I've got a few pictures of like that over the years that I think, oh my gosh, instead of putting pictures of other people that are all fit and in shape, look back to when you were, because you may not think at the time that you were good. I didn't think anything of myself at that time. But now looking back, I think, oh my, I had nothing to complain about. I was fit. I was able to go up the grouse grind in a respectable time. And I had muscle. So what is it? So I don't want to have pictures of other people. I'm going to look at pictures of myself when I was like that, and hopefully that'll motivate me to keep doing. You're right, Kelsey, Studio Kels. Yeah, I guess some people actually really like it. They really enjoy it, the process of working out. You're right. Because I like the results. You're right. And I work out because I see the results. Sometimes I get motivated and really into it if I'm listening to good music. But I also used to watch TV, like shows that I wouldn't watch only when I worked out. So that was kind of a motivator because it made me want to work out to watch this particular whatever series. I remember doing that too, and it kind of helped me. But then I started needing to watch these weightlifting videos, so then I couldn't watch my other junk shows. Look at this. Some trees fall when we have storms, but this looks incredibly like a lot right now that are down. I wonder if they've just, no, they look like they've broken naturally and some have been cut. You can see they've been cut over there. Okay, I'm going down the hill. It's pretty down here too. It's nice in the summertime when you come here. I've come here with my sister and then we bring sandwiches and sit down there and eat. And in the summer when it's hot, it's nice and cool in here because you're shaded by these huge trees. So yeah, I agree with you, Studio Cal. Some people just love this is steep going down. Some people love the process of working out. I like the results. But yeah, what I think I'll do is just have a little montage of my pictures when I was more fit, and hopefully that motivates me. And I think I had the poll, people mentioned how to stay focused. That's their biggest problem with working out. And I'm guessing that they mean that staying focused for a long period of time, like to stay consistent with it. I think that's a better word. Because when I'm working out, okay, what kind of poop is that? Is that bear or horse? Oh, gosh. When I work out and get into it, even if I don't feel like it, I start to enjoy it. So I don't usually have a problem as long as I start. What about you guys? I haven't seen any wildlife. I'm a Mickey out here right now, but we have lots of deer and lots of bear, lots of raccoons. They all live around here because they come into my backyard. And like I was saying in the beginning of this stream, that the bear came into the garage with me, and ever since then I've been pretty scared of bears, as everybody should be, but that really, really scared me. What else do we have out here? Fox, lots of fox, not foxes, coyotes, lots of coyotes. There are cougars in the area. I've never seen one actually. That's where we just came from. So it's, you can't tell, but it is quite steep. I have to go back up that. And it's still going down. Now I forgot my train of thought. What was I saying? So I can stay focused once I start working on it. So the getting started, and I think staying consistent is the problem. I can stay consistent for several months, but then once, if anything happens, like I went away or I had a little knot in my back and that was it, and I couldn't do it anymore. But then the other thing too is I have more issues, and I'm not sure if you're like that. If you don't work out, I tend to get more knots in my back and things that bother me. So the lack of working out is what does that. And right now what I'm talking about is weightlifting specifically, or anything that builds muscles. It doesn't have to be with weights. It could be with your own body weights versus, dumbbells and things like that. Because I have been really trying to walk every single day. I go for a walk pretty well. At work, I go on my lunch break for at least 3 kilometers. But what I'm talking about is building muscle or maintaining muscle. Because as you age, and 30, 40, 50, and when you hit menopause, you progressively lose more and more muscle because of the loss of hormones. So lack of muscle is a real factor in your lifespan. You have less chance of surviving falls, even if it's just a fall onto the ground like here. You have a less chance of surviving any kind of illness when you're bedridden because you don't have the muscle mass, and any loss from there would be really detrimental to your health. So that's what I want to do. I want to maintain, oh, there's the sign. I'm going to turn around. Warning, barren area. Okay, I'm getting out of here because now I'm getting nervous about the bears. Studio Kels, I've heard working out with weights can be one of the best things for, yes, it is. Longevity, so that motivates me, LOL. Yes, it is. And they specifically talk about, there's a bridge down there. You probably can't see it, but it's so pretty down there. But because they put the signs up where they know that the bear lives or hangs out. So I'm out of here. But muscle is a huge factor in longevity. And specifically, they talk about the thigh muscle, your upper leg muscle. If it's, obviously, if you have good, strong muscle there, that means you've been working out and doing that, because that's one of the larger muscles in your body. So that's a good indicator of health. Not only do you burn more calories, blood flow is better. I have varicose veins. So one of the things with that is varicose veins are caused because of blood vessels have valves that don't work properly. So your blood pools instead of going back the way it's supposed to. Oh, now I'm huffing. So when you have poor valves, it helps to have muscle in your legs to compress and help the blood flow back. So I'm going to have, end of October, some procedures to help with these darn varicose veins, which can cause problems. But building muscle isn't just about looking good. It's about your actual health. For me, it's about, improving these varicose veins issues, which are not just cosmetic. They can cause a lot of cramping. They can make your legs really swollen. Never mind the heaviness that you feel in your legs. But also, they can ulcer, they can break, and you can have terrible wounds and ulcers where the blood vessel breaks. Whew. Okay. Let's let you look around. I'm wearing my barefoot shoes because this is really fine gravel. And these guys have, let's see if I can show you. They have those knobs at the end of the bottom of the shoes, so they're not smooth. You don't want to walk in here with smooth shoes, or you'll go sliding straight down that hill. Okay. Let's flip you around so you can see my red face. It's warm. Today's a really nice day because it's overcast, but it's low to mid 20s Celsius, so that's not bad. Oh. See, these are also horse trails. They have these signs everywhere. I'm so lucky to have this around my house. Anyway, any ideas for motivating yourself to do some workouts besides what I suggested? Look back at pictures where you were in better shape, maybe physically. I think the other thing is just start, because sometimes you're not going to feel like doing it, but you can get into it. Reward yourself by, like for me, watch some show that you wouldn't otherwise want to spend time doing unless you were, working out. Workout buddies for accountability partners, Studio Kels. That's good if it works. I've tried that with my sisters, and then we're never consistent because we're not on the same schedule. And my husband, Keith, would love to do that. He wants to work out with me, but I don't know how to say this. He's not critical. He's so knowledgeable about working out. But maybe I'm intimidated by his knowledge and how he works out, so I feel a little bit intimidated working out with him. I would love to do that one day, though. I want to tell him that, yes, one day I will work out with you soon. And I'm not going to say his grunting. Yes. I don't know. Guys make a lot of noise. I mean, women do that too. They breathe out and they make, they make noises. But guys, like my son and my husband, they make a lot of racket when they're working out. All right, what else? I made notes, but I haven't even bothered to look at them. I do think that the things that in the book Atomic Habits is really important, because say to yourself, this is what I'm going to do. And maybe you guys can keep me accountable. Hi, Elizabeth Murray. Hi. Here I am in my beautiful forest. And you just missed the hike up the hill and some bear poop and a sign that says the bear's here, that they post in areas where the bear's actually hanging out. They're in the forest here, but I got nervous and turned around. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm doing this video. This is motivation for myself to start, doing improving my muscles again, because I'm losing muscle. I can certainly tell way faster. When I was young, I didn't need to do anything, and I still kept my muscle, but it's going now at a fast rate after menopause and hitting 60. But the more muscle you have, they also say that you will maintain it longer if you have periods of, when you're not doing much. So if you're young, build that muscle, because then it'll serve you later and you won't have to work so hard, because it's a lot harder to get it back when you lose it or never have had it. What else? Let's turn you around again so you can see some more of where I'm walking. So the Atomic Habits was talking about just tell yourself you're going to do 5 minutes of it, and then get your stuff on and do 5 minutes of the thing that you're trying to avoid doing. For me, I have no excuses. I can go downstairs to the gym and do 5 minutes of, light weights to get started. Because as I said earlier, when I start, then I feel like doing it. I feel like continuing. It's if I don't, it's the getting started is the most difficult part of the whole thing. Hi, Galle. Kuopio, Finland. Hello. I can't wait to come back there we're coming next spring at Juhannus, so that's sometime in June. Can't wait to come. I've been loving going to Finland again every year for the last few years. My dream would be to have a cabin there on a lake. Gosh, I really want to do that, and my sisters too. Even with my sisters and I, we bought a cabin and stayed there. That would be really nice. Oh, there's some mountain bikers. I think they just... God, I'm hearing noises. Those guys are just... Look at, they're biking right through the shrubs. I'll show you where they went. Through here. That's not even a trail I would go in. They're going with trail bikes over there. Anyway, can't wait to come to Finland, Galle. Yeah, influencers in the wild, literally. Oh yeah. All we need now is a bear behind me as I'm walking and talking. Wouldn't that be something? with their cub, because they would have their cub, so it'd be a scary situation. But anyway, atomic habits, yes, definitely I am going to start by getting downstairs in my basement and working out for 5 minutes. Okay, I want to show you something. In Finland, there's Galileo, and in here, you may or may not see it, but through these trees over there, there are rocks that remind me always of Galileo that are in Finland, which are, I don't know how to say it in English, but it's just rocky hills. And you can see them way over there. That area is just a rocky hill thing, but that reminds me of Finland. Galileo has a sauna. Oh, there is a bear. Yeah, I'm sure there is, but I haven't seen them yet. There's definitely bears here, but hopefully my yapping will, make them realize that I'm here and they won't want to come near me. So Galileo has a sauna by the lake. It's a rental apartment, so that's not so common even here in Finland. Wow, a sauna by the lake, because that's the other thing. We rented a cabin. We were in Punkaharju, more northern in Finland, up from Helsinki, and we had the cabin we rented had a sauna, a separate sauna, closer to the lake, but it was still frozen in parts, so I didn't go in. We're not that brave. And then we also had a sauna in the cabin, and we used both of them. Loved it. And that's one thing. I grew up when I was just little, sauna at least weekly, and then here occasionally, because my grandparents had a sauna in their house when they moved here. Anyway, any suggestions on, other than, what did you say, Studio Kels, about staying consistent or getting back into building muscle? Like I said, oh, there's some, I'm sure that's bear poop, or is that horse poop? Because that's quite a bit. It goes from there all the way in there. I don't know. This is the poop show. Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of Europe is very hot right now, which is amazing. The time I was in Finland, not the time before last, but I brought all these wool socks. I brought all my heavy stuff, and the spring was so warm that I never wore any of it, and I had to buy lighter things while I was there. Anyway, this is a popular trail for people walking their dogs, riding bikes, and it used to be just horses coming up here. One time, about 20 years ago, or maybe 18 years ago when we first moved here, my husband and I took one of not a groomed trail like this, it was one of those horse trails. We went so far in there, I think we were almost at the research forest. We got a bit lost, we had no cell reception, and we had to walk through a little creek. It was actually more like a river. It was quite a big way up there, but we found our way home. But I am glad that we have this beautiful spot so close, and a lot of it is a park, so they can't build more houses here. All right, that is, I think, I'm gonna head back. I'll keep this on so you can stay with me if you want to see more of the trail, but I've made notes that I haven't looked at, and I was gonna say that being physically stronger, having muscle, and there's a lot of talk about your hand grip, and I have seen this, with elderly people that I've looked after in emergency. We just have to maintain or increase our strength in our legs, in our hands, everywhere, because you just can't recover from illness, and you can't get better if you don't do these things. It's impossible. you just get sicker and sicker, and you end up staying in the hospital, and that's how you end up not being able to recover, and you end up dying. And that's, and it's sad because that's something that we can actually, most of us can do things to prevent. Most of us have the ability to build our strength or maintain our strength. So I'll turn this around again. I'm going across the little creek. This is how dry we are right now. There's hardly any water in that puddle, but this is a river that comes from way up there down all this way. And if you keep going that way, there's a park, and then there's the river. We have a river. What is the river called? Kelsey, what is the river called? It's called Alouette River, maybe? Anyway, it's a big, big river. Well, not a big, big river. You can go floating in it, but it's a fair-sized river. All right. Yeah, that's what I think. It's called the Alouette River. I'll show you where this ends up taking us. Basically, we're walking through the woods, and it's going to end up coming out in a subdivision. I don't live in that area, but I have to walk up the hill to get to where I live, because I live halfway up a hill. The other thing too is when you're maintaining your muscle or building muscle, I know I'm going on about this because it's really been bothering me that I have been finding it so difficult to do this again, but it does make you feel better mentally. When you're not doing something you feel like you should be doing, the little bit of guilt that keeps niggling away at you is not good. And it can be such a simple thing. Just take 5 minutes to start. 5 minutes in the morning, that's my preferred time, to start doing something to build muscle instead of letting it waste away all the progress I've made. So if you want to join me in motivating ourselves, leave me a comment in the video, because I'll have this posted, so if you haven't, you can watch it again or leave a comment about what you want or how you motivate yourself. How can we motivate each other? And maybe commit yourself to one small thing this week that you can do to get started to building or maintaining muscle. And I'm not no fitness expert, but there's all kinds of information out there, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy, just at home, even if it's body weights, like doing squats. Squats as far down as you can go. What is that thing? Ass to grass? Depending on how, good your knees are. Not everybody can bend as far, but anything you can do is better than nothing. Moving your body is even good for you if you have some difficulties. Obviously you have to listen to your healthcare provider. And even if it starts off by walking, some people, maybe that's your thing, that you haven't even started walking or moving at all. So start doing that first. But because I've been walking, I want to get back into strength training. So that'll be my goal for this week. Every morning. And I'm saying every morning because I'm going to be so limited in what I do that there's not going to be too much wear and tear on my body. But I'm just trying to create a habit, and that takes a long time to do. So put on workout clothes. Yes, step one is put on workout clothes. But some people, I sometimes just work out in my pajamas. It doesn't have to be fancy, but I guess if you have to go out, then yes, put on some workout clothes. But for me, because I can do it in my house, I just go downstairs in my pajamas since I'm not needing to get dressed up for anybody or. But you know what? That's the other thing. Some people will get motivated by how they look. And, you know, getting yourself dressed up as you would want to be. It's that mental thing that I'm a fitness person or I work out, so I dress like it. And that makes you feel like you are, which makes it easier to do that thing. I wonder if you can hear me. Well, I bought this mic and then I realized I need this adapter because my phone isn't that new, so I don't think the sound is going to be very good. If you were quiet in the woods there, you would have heard some birds chirping. It's not super early. I started out at 9, so they're way noisier earlier in the morning. And I'm glad we didn't run into any. Oh, you can hear me. Good, good. I should have asked that right at the beginning instead of at the end. We're coming to the end here. I'll show you. It's another steep, gravelly bit. And it's so deceptive because it doesn't look as steep as it is, but you can definitely slide down this hill for sure. Whoop, see? My feet are sliding. And you can already start to see the houses. But when you're in these woods, even though there's houses close up, but when you go further into these woods, you are, except for the occasional plane or helicopter overhead, you are in complete quietness. It is so pretty just to hear the trees and the leaves rustling and hearing the birds chirping and the occasional twig snapping, which makes me jump because I think something's in the bushes coming. All right. I think that'll be it because I'm heading out onto a street and I don't want to be one of these people that's doing this in public so all the neighbors can see me. But yes, please leave a comment if you want to, what are the things that you can do to motivate yourself to build muscle? Do you even think it's important to have muscle or maintain muscle? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If there's anything we can do together, that would be fun. Maybe more lives. Let me know if you like lives. And I will see you. Have a great week. Take care. Bye. Oh, and thank you for all the people that joined me. It was so fun. Studio Kels and Elizabeth Murray, Galileo, and yeah, it was really nice. Oh, I'm a Mickey, little munchkin. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Bye.